All right, let's do the Minnesota Vikings now. Once again, $100 giveaway. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the Facebook group, drop in a 7-round mock. If it's a good mock, I'll make a video. And if the video does better than all other videos, you get $100. Today's 7-round mock drafts for the Minnesota Vikings. Winner is Jason Buivis. I don't know. But Jason, thank you very much. Appreciate your contributions and best of luck to you, senor. Real quick look at the Minnesota Vikings. A lot of question marks. Obviously, Kirk Cousins being a major question mark. I don't know exactly how that's going to get resolved. I tend to think he's going to stay, but I don't know. Offensive line. Look, Darisaw is phenomenal. He's going to need a really big contract, though. He's in the final year of his deal. He's one of the best young tackles, and, that's going to be tough because Danielle Hunter, who I think is leaving, is looking for a big contract, and Justin Jefferson's looking for a big contract. Obviously, Kirk Cousins is looking for a big contract. They've already said they're not doing the guarantee thing, so I don't know how this is all going to get sorted out. But anyways, Darisaw is going to be looking for one. Then you've got Dalton Reisner, who is a free agent right now. Presumably, he'll be getting a contract at 29 years old. Garrett Bradbury's locked up for a while, so I think he's staying. He's obviously not the best in the world, but it's what you got for now. Ed Ingram, kind of a similar situation. And then Brian O'Neill, he's locked up for a little while. He is 29 years old, but, it's a decent enough offensive line, but it just kind of feels like we're teetering a little bit, right? Reisner, not really doing it. O'Neill's kind of probably on the final year of his contract. Bradbury and Ingram probably at some point need to be upgraded. So I don't hate the offensive line, but it's something to consider. Tight end, obviously, we've got Hawkinson. Wide receiver, we've got Justin Jefferson again, final year of his contract, looking for a deal. And Jordan Addison looks like he's going to be a good player. Powell and KJ Osborne are free agents. Maybe looking for a third receiver there. I'm not really sure what we're going to do. We've got N'Keal Harry and Jalen Naylor and a few other guys. And then running back, we've got Alexander Madison, Ty Chandler. No real superstars, but maybe we're good. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Defense is where it gets super iffy. Defensive line, free agents, just free agents. You have Danielle Hunter, Jonathan Bullard, Sheldon Day, James Lynch, DJ Wonham, and Marcus Davenport. And then the guys in the final years of their deal, Patrick Jones, Harrison Phillips, and Dean Lowry. Obviously, Patrick Jones is one of the younger guys, but still, there's a lot of decisions to be made and a lot of money to be paid out to guys that are maybe going to be staying. And again, I mean, Hunter's like the only really solid piece you got, and it looks like he might be leaving. So we need a lot of help along this defensive line. Cornerback group is just not getting it done. Byron Murphy was another swing and seemingly a miss in the second round. Caleb Evans we've got here. And we've got Metellus in the slot. Obviously, we're going to be leaning a lot on Andrew Booth, hoping that he can kind of become something. But either way, that's an area that could use some help. Linebacker, I mean, at least looks promising. But unfortunately, Jordan Hicks was a sort of a one-year rental. He's a 32-year-old free agent, along with Troy Dye, Anthony Barr, and Nick Vigil. So we have Ivan Pace and Brian Asamoah. We'll see who ends up coming back and who doesn't. But we need some bodies at linebacker. And then at safety, we've got a couple of good safeties, but Harrison Smith, I mean, he hasn't really been himself. I mean, 2019 was his last elite year, and you can see it's been a decline ever since. He is 35 years old. He's not going to be getting any better. He is locked up for some time, so if he's got some years left, I mean, it's through, the next 3 years, I think. And then Cam Bynum is in the final year of his deal at 26 years old, so he'll be looking for money pretty soon too. So need a little bit of everything, to be completely honest with you, including potentially quarterback. But good news, Vikings fans. We had multiple trade backs. Let's see if I can pull this up here again. So we traded from 11 back to 13 and picked up a third, and then back from 13 to 18 and picked up a second. So we've got quite a few picks. This is going to take a little bit longer than usual to get through, but we're going to go ahead and do it. With the 18th overall pick, Minnesota Vikings select Jackson Powers Johnson, center out of Oregon. Needs no introduction. Obviously, very well-known center, big, mauling human being. Again, Bradbury's locked up for some time, but you got to get a little bit better. They kind of went with the small athletic guy in Bradbury. Maybe you go in the other direction with Jackson Powers Johnson, just get a big old mauler. I mean, we're not afraid of getting some big boys like Darisaw. Why not? Let's see if we can finally get that rectified. With the 42nd pick, Minnesota Vikings select Bo Nix. Now, as a Packer fan, that would kind of make me sad. I mean, obviously we've got a couple back-to-back Oregon guys, but Jackson Powers Johnson seems to be a pretty good football player. Bo Nix, though, I like Bo Nix. I really do, and especially if you're talking second round. I don't know if he makes it to 42 or not, but he's one of the guys that I'm a little bit more of a fan of than maybe some other people are. So that one would kind of make me wince a little bit. But in my opinion, pretty good pick up there and potentially able to grab sort of your Jalen Hurts, right? While all the other quarterbacks are gone, you're able to snag one in the second and still have success. With the 49th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Braden Fisk, defensive tackle out of Florida State. As you can see, he does a little bit of everything, basically 70 run defense, 73 tackling. He's got a better than 10% pressure rate and 6 sacks. And again, we just need a lot of help, man. We just need bodies in here. We need guys that can play, et cetera, et cetera. At pick 77, we've got Christian Haynes, offensive guard out of Connecticut. He's only ever played right guard, but he's played a lot of right guard, over 3,000 snaps there. Last 2 years, he really broke out in run blocking and pass blocking. And again, not a big surprise because I know for a fact, the little bit that I do know about Vikings fans, not huge fans of Evan Ingram. So that'll be a welcome relief, hopefully. At pick 109, we've got Tyke Smith. Again, we're going to need some eventual plans to replace Harrison Smith. So ideally, Tyke Smith can kind of sit and learn for a year or however long behind Bynum and Smith. Maybe if he's really just dominant, he can come in and play right away. I don't know. But we got to start planning for the future, and that's what we're doing right here. With the, where are we at? With the 130th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Audric Estime, running back out of Notre Dame. I mentioned before, we got a lot of bodies there. I just don't think we have, those elite guys, right? We got Madison, which is a cool, change of pace guy or whatever. It'd be nice to get that true number one running back. So we're going to try that with Audric Estime, 20 years old, obviously grades out phenomenally, has been really good for, 2-ish years there at Notre Dame. Really young, really talented, lots of room for growth. And hopefully with the added help along the offensive line, Audric Estime will be able to come in and really help this offense, which, again, we got our quarterback. We're building up the offensive line. We got our wide receivers. We got TJ Hawkinson. You add in Audric Estime. Defense might be a freaking disaster. Poor Flores. But, only can do so much in a year. With the 145th pick, Minnesota Vikings select Michael Barrett, linebacker out of Michigan. So, again, just don't have any bodies there. We got 4 free agents, and, we can bring back guys. We can bring back Troy Dye or whatever. I mean, Hicks and Barr are really old, but how old is Troy Dye? He is 28, so even he's not super young. Nick Vigil is 31. My goodness. So yeah, we need some guys that are going to be able to come in and play. Probably, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of these guys are just going to walk, so we need bodies. We might have 2 guys, Ivan Pace and Brian Asamoah. Maybe those are our 2, but we need more people than 2 to be able to run a defense. So Michael Barrett's going to come in, and he's probably going to play right away. At pick 157, speak of the devil. Oops, that's wrong. Did I miss one? Well, we're going to draft Cedric Gray, linebacker out of North Carolina. Sorry about that. I missed one. So another linebacker, same commentary, whatever. Let's look him up. Why not? Messing up the flow a little bit, but I want everybody to be able to get a look at what we got here. We haven't drafted Cedric Gray very much, so let's get a look. 6'2", 235 pounds. Last 2 years definitely broke out. Solid in coverage. Maybe more so than run defense, although he was really solid in 2022. So there you go. Again, more bodies there. All right. Now, where were we? Hopefully we got this right. I picked 166, Braden McGregor, edge rusher out of Michigan. I mean, I hate to keep repeating myself, but we need bodies, man. Hunter, Davenport, and Wanham are all free agents, and even if we bring back two of the three, we don't have anybody, right? If Wanham and Davenport come back, which let's just say that they do, we have those two with Patrick Jones and Andre Carter. That's 4 total, and I don't know how much we like any of them. So more bodies in the building. At pick 179, we've got Tarheeb Still, cornerback out of Maryland. And again, you know, we've got people that we've drafted. We've got some high capital here. We've got Murphy, who was a second-round pick. We've got Andrew Booth, who I think was a second-round pick also. We're hoping to get something out of it, but we're just not right now. So Tarheeb's going to come in, and who knows? He'll compete and might actually have a shot, which is sad to say. And then finally, at pick 227, Layden Robinson, offensive guard out of Texas A&M. Not screwing around with this offensive line. We're going to get it right. Not only do we need help, but again, Reisner, Reed, and Blake Brandell, although he's an RFA, so he's probably not going anywhere, but he's not good at football, so who cares? We're losing several bodies, so we need some replacements there. But both guys that we drafted, I believe, are right guards, which is what we're looking for. So, again, you can't solve all your problems in the draft necessarily, even if all of them are hits. We still got some areas that need some help, but I think we touched on some of the major issues. Quarterback, offensive line, we got a running back, did a bunch along the defensive line, and we took a couple stabs at linebacker, at least with some bodies, safety, and corner. So kind of touched all the bases. Let me know what you think about this here Minnesota Vikings mock draft.